Hi there, my name is Tyler Stanley. I'm a product manager here at Nextpoint, and I'm really excited to share the first iteration of our subscription pass-through feature. Thank you so much for signing up for our beta program. This is really our chance to test this feature and make sure that it's up to your standards. What I'm going to do is give you a quick walkthrough of all the functionality we've built so far, starting with how to navigate to these new pages. So most of you will start in a Nextpoint database like this one, and in order to get to the subscription pass-through feature, you need to have account dashboard access. You'll know that you do because you have this manage account button here in the top left. When I click it and open the account dashboard, the tab that I'm looking for is billing information. You'll see a familiar spot to update your billing address, and we recommend that you do because this has some new functionality where it will actually show and be used to generate the invoices that you will send to clients. So go ahead and make sure that's up to date. Now, moving left to right to our two new tabs. The first one is client invoices, and this is where you will do most of your calculations. This has a few inputs at the top, and then a fairly familiar table for your projects with a little twist to help you generate those invoices and view how much you will be passing through on each of those invoices. Moving further to the right, our last new tab, Manage Clients, is where you will manage the contact information for your end clients, the people who will be receiving those invoices. So here's where I'm going to start. Let's say I want to invoice myself for one of our projects. Go ahead and make sure you have at least a name in here and then assign them to the project that you want to pass through. In this case, let's choose Nextpoint Product Group. And if you have an email address for the contact, go ahead and make sure that it is a valid email address. And you can go ahead and click Add. If for some reason you need to edit any of this information, like to add an address, you can go ahead and do so in line here and then save those changes. Now that I have a client created that I'm going to pass through the cost for this project to, let's go and go back to the Client Invoices tab to set all of that calculation up. This will mostly be a one-time setup, and this will be done per billing period. So select the billing period that you'll be generating this invoice for, and then go ahead and click Edit at the top to calculate the pass-through amounts. For calculation methods, we currently only support one, with many more on the way. If you have a calculation method that you're interested in, please let us know. We will try and get those added for you in a way that makes the most sense. For pass-through amount, we recommend setting this to be the amount that you get billed from Nextpoint each month. So let's say I receive an invoice for $13,500. I'll go ahead and save. What you'll notice here is the projects table went ahead and updated for us. So let me go find the project that I'm interested in passing through. And you can see that based on the amount of active data, so large amount of active data versus a smaller amount of active data, will proportionally distribute the amount of money that will be passed through on each of those invoices. I'm going to do a little refresh just to start over here. So let's say you wanted to pass through an invoice for that Nextpoint product group project. Make sure you've selected the billing period. This will update based on the amount of active data for that billing period. Let's choose just the most recent one. You can find your project by filtering in any column on this list. So I do know that I'm looking for that Nextpoint product group. It's this guy. And then the button on the right here to generate invoice is what I'm going to select to pull out this panel on the right. Now, this is effectively what creates the invoice for you. You'll see that we pre-populate as much as we can to save some steps, both the project name and who it gets billed to, the billing period, although I can select that if I need to choose a different one. And then issue date and due date are up to your discretion. We recommend setting these to be the date that you will send the invoice, and then whatever terms that you've agreed to your client with on payment for the due date. Below that, you'll see the invoice amount calculation, where we'll show you some of the math that we're doing, just so you can double check how much you're billing through to this client. So in this case, you'll see that the Nextpoint product group project has over 12 gigs of active data, and that is a large portion of the 16 gigs for the entire account, which means it has billed a majority of that 13,500. Below that, some invoice items. If you wanted to update these costs to be more specific, maybe this is from Nextpoint and it's for e-discovery services, you can go and make those updates before finally hitting generate invoice. Now, once I generate this invoice, you'll see that it downloaded to my browser. I can open it, and then I have a invoice with all those details on Nextpoint letterhead for the billing period, addressed to the party that I need to send it to, and then I am on my way. I can either send this to the client from which I'm trying to pass through my costs, or I can provide this as backup evidence for the services rendered. So we really hope that this is a useful tool in your repertoire. And we, again, thank you so much for joining our beta program. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out at any time. Thank you.